Hey everybody. I don't think anybody's here yet, so I'm just gonna wait and I'm gonna put Brian on my TV in the meantime. Yes, you're basically watching me watching somebody else's channel online. It's some Inception level stuff. Hey, what's going on, Evil? David, no. Please no. Yeah, I'm watching Brian on my TV while just waiting for everybody. I just put it up on my TV, so I'm just away for some ads. And good morning to you, sir. Hey, Neil. How are you, sir? You might hear the little guy in the background. He is attempting to finish his breakfast. Buddy. Oh, I guess I guess I guess Brian is wrapping up because I see Comics by the Bay dancing in his robe on my screen right now. Okay, that's great. I'm happy the little guy's not by the TV. Seth, are you here? I didn't see you, sir. There you go, Seth. How are you? Mr. Neil. 23 Monch. I said hi to Neil, but saying hi twice is not a bad thing. Wellbore, how are you? How are you? Let's give everybody a few minutes to come in. Neil, by the way, I'm going to say this. If my wife does not want to do the woman cover challenge live today, I will try something this week. We'll see. Because now she's looking at me like, what are you talking about, dude? Even though we've talked about it. X11, how are you, sir? Buddy, what are you doing? Yep, Brian's dude. How it goes? Hey, doctor, how are you? Yeah, my little guy. I want to first, I should say, thanks everybody for being very understanding last week. We had the little guy's birthday party last Sunday, so Saturday was a lot of last minute stuff going on, but we pulled it off. Yeah, now he's smiling because he could see me. Circum, how are you? Lady Fantastic, how are you? Yeah, so it was just kind of like a lot of running around. Melodope, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Chad must be experienced. No, no Chad. No Chad, please, no Chad. Look, Chad works in little doses. Maybe I should say to Brian, let Chad co host because I think that if you had a full hour or so, or hour plus, let's say, of Chad, you would be just as sick as Chad if I am, as I am. Yeah, so at the little guy's birthday, he's officially 1 year old now. And it was a nice milestone for us. I think the night before I said to my wife, I was like, do you realize that we're about to have the first birthday party for our first child? And yeah, so I'm happy we pulled it off here. Thank you, Evil. Appreciate that. And we had the 1 year doctor visit last Thursday. And he had to get some shots yesterday because, or not shots, I'm sorry. I've got blood work yesterday in New Jersey. I don't know if this is everywhere in the country. You have to like have the lead levels tested for infants, which I don't understand, but being New Jersey, I'm not surprised. Yeah, definitely a big milestone. But we had a good day. We've had like 3 cakes in the past week. 4 cakes. Yeah. We're still thank you, honey. We're still working on his ice cream cake. Shout out to Denville Dairy, by the way. Matt Woods. I'm not sponsored by them, but they are delicious. And yeah, by the end of the month, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have diabetes. Hi, we've been eating a lot of freaking cake, and we still have a lot to go. Anybody in the northern New Jersey area? Doug, you're not far. Let me know. I'll bring you some cake. Yeah, we're on our last cake. Actual Dracula, how are you, sir? My little one was 1 yesterday. Today she's 14. Yeah, you know what? Reggie gave me some good advice um, out of the gate when we let it be known that we're pregnant. He said, "Look, the days are short. No, I'm sorry, the weeks are short, but the days are long." And I definitely feel no. That's a good thing. It's saying, hey, it might seem long day to day, but he's growing up very quickly. Um, I was thinking about that, but I don't know. I guess I still have time to do that, but I don't quite know that he'd appreciate that. I should really look into that, though. He does love Spider Man. Um, X11 Bravo was saying that with his children, he wished that he had gotten them a comic from the week that they were born. So I'd have to go back. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, time does certainly fly. Youngest turns 8 on Friday. Oh, happy birthday to them. Yeah, it's just a little shocking. Like we were just kind of amazed. He's a big boy right now, but when he was born, he was very very small.
That's not very small.
He was small. He was little.
No,
Well,
it's normal weight.
now I mean, again, he's a year old, but even the doctor was like, "Oh, I thought he was 18 months when I first saw him." So, and we're very grateful for that. My oldest is 24. My youngest is 5. Yeah, I have a very big gap in my family too. I'm 43, and my youngest brother is 22. I think we figured that out. And what? Let me see. He was born 2001. Yeah, 22. Yeah, because I remember my senior year of college, he was born. My son will be a teenager this year. Congrats to that. My oldest will be old enough to enlist this summer. I'm terrified. Well, hopefully, nothing escalates further. I don't talk too much about politics or conflicts, but I have a feeling that this conflict with the Ukraine and Russia is basically us subsidizing a war. Just in my opinion, kind of like you saw in Saga. Hey, Trev, how are you, sir? Out here, they can learn to drive at 14. That scares the crap out of me. Here in New Jersey, they get a permit at 16, can't drive until they're 17, and then I think until they're, what is it, 20? Like you're like provisionary, like you can't drive alone at night.
At 20.
Is it no 17, between 17 to 20?
No, it's at 16.
No, 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 no. When you have your provisional license, where you're licensed but you can't like drive after 10 p.m. or something like that. You can't have more than one person under.
You got your permit.
No, no, no. Since we've got our licenses, it's changed. Like you get your permit at 16, you get your license at 17, but there's rules that you have to follow. I think until you're 20. I don't know. It doesn't matter how old Mrs. Fields. No, she's always young. Oh, I lost the chat for a second. Still a kid. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's very strange. I'm 43 and I still kind of feel like a kid at times. Not physically. I'm just very like, eh. Age is just a number for me. Really, that's messed up. I missed something. You got to tell me about that. Evil, I think you just said you were a grandfather. How are you, sir? Paul, I didn't see you there. How are you, sir? Paul, are you going to Doug's signing later today? If you guys are in the northern New Jersey area, I guess even New York, Doug Breton is having a signing at Dewey's in Dover. Him and Delia I believe it's between 1 and 3. I'm not sure if I'm going or not. I didn't plan on it, and then it kind of popped up at the last minute. We'll have to work that out because it was just, well, it stopped now. It was snowing here a little bit, but yeah, yeah. I was just thinking, like, my well, we had most of my brothers and sisters here. One of my sisters is 28, and my other sister's 25. And I was about to say to them, like, look, things are just going to start to creep up. It's going to be like, hey, I could drink until 4 the other day, until 4 in the morning, and be fine for work. And like, and I was going to say to them, like, you're slowly going to realize that you can't do things like that after a while. And yes, I will go. I might. I don't know yet. Go there. You were in Cuba for a week. How's Cuba? I thought we weren't allowed there anymore. I don't know. Uh, well, again, thanks everybody for being very understanding last week. I appreciate it. And afterwards, I have to say this: after we had everybody over, I had a week off from work, which was nice. There's been some kind of, let's say, tension going on with work, but that seemed to be alleviating itself. We'll just say that. Um, I'm sorry, you just distracted me, David. I saw something very funny recently. I pointed this out to my mom last week. When I was a kid, McDonald's looked like it was a fun place to go. They had the ball pit and everything there, and it was brightly colored and whatnot. Now, when you pass by, they're very like modern looking and gray. And somebody had put online, it kind of looks like the place where like divorced couples to go to like exchange kids. I was like, yeah, it does look like that. Oh, the signing is next week. Ah, good. Thank you for telling me that, because I would have went to do is be like, where's Doug? So thank you. Yes, they're called calendars. I will look into one. So yes, the signing is next week, which you now have more time to plan. Honey, the signing's next week. I don't know if you heard.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, again, thank you everybody. Appreciate you giving me some patience to do that. And then this past week, I just kind of like slowed down. I'll be honest with you, I kind of felt like a bad YouTuber. I don't want to say YouTuber because it feels a certain way. I just didn't get a chance to watch as much as I typically do. Yeah, I was just kind of like taking it easy, trying to rest. I don't even remember what we did this week, to be honest with you, honey. Did we have any like big things besides taking those appointments and whatnot? I'm trying to think.
No.
We were just both exhausted and clearly still getting there. Even like I feel like I've been a bed collector because I didn't really read that much this week, but I did for the first time since November. Yes, right before Thanksgiving, go to my LCS, and that's been the longest span I've been away from my LCS, at least that I'm aware of. Bear in mind, I actually had reached out to my LCS owner in between and been like, Sean, do you, I know that my stuff's building up. Do you need me to make a payment or anything? And he was like, no. And then my wife surprised me on Valentine's, even though I keep telling her not to, that she called my LCS to pay for what was in my box at that point. And if she gave, I tell her not to do that because I feel like it's my responsibility, that type of thing. That's a whole nother topic for another day. But I'll be showing you what I bought in a bit. 30 minutes. I don't have it. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to show you what I read and what I bought, but I do have some big news as well. News that I think at least, I'm going to say 5 people here, and I'm just taking a guess, would be really excited to hear. So I'm going to ask you guys, you tell me, do you want the big news first? You want me to show you what I bought first? Or you want me to show you what I read first? And again, what I read was not that much, I'll be honest with you. So that'll be short. I'll give you guys a few minutes, and that'll give me a chance to catch up with the chat. Let's see. Baby number 2. David, did my mom or somebody like reach out to you? So Durs is saying big news. Let's see who agrees with him. X11 wants to see it. And by that, I'm hoping you mean the comics I read or bought, because we'll save anything else like that for OnlyFans. See, I check to make sure, see if my wife laughed at any of my dumb jokes when I do that, just to be certain. Curious how many siblings you have. You might want to run it by the family. There, you know what? I'm the only one with children right now at this point. Is giggling. You're getting another nugget. I can honestly say I have no idea what you're talking about. Trev, which one? Do it. Only child here, have a half brother, sister, but they don't really count because they never lived with. I'll be honest with you, most of my siblings are half. I just round up, and I've never lived with them. I have a cat. Yeah, cats. I'm not a cat fan. I'm a fan of Cat Fan on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, but not the felines. Mrs. Phil is making her first appearance. Question mark? She's laughing, Neil. I think that's a no. But maybe, hopefully soon. Who knows? In total, I have two brothers. I'm 43. My brother Joe's going to be 30 next month. And Justin is 22, did we say? Yeah. And then my full-blooded sister is 41. And then we have 28 and 25. So I like to say that my dad's child rearing methods are kind of like a rock station playing like the best of today's, the 90s, the 80s, and the 70s. 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. It's been a while since I listened to regular radio, I guess. Sinbad, I just saw you sneak in. How are you, sir? Hold on. Durs, I will make a deal with you, Phil. You get your missus on, and I will get Lady Durs on. It's not up to me, bro. I don't push it. You know, one thing I'll say, hey, honey, do you want to talk on this video? Like, that's enough right now. When she wants to come on, she'll come on. Is this where you tell us that you have always felt like a woman inside and you're having surgery and going by Phyllis now? I don't know how we got there, buddy, but that's a long trip. Sitting here grading books. Good. So I'll just show you what I read for now, because that's quick. Honey, what wasn't that funny? What are you talking about? We'll force her so you can get your ends and I will carry her on cam. Yeah. It's not that funny. I don't know.
I didn't see that coming at all.
Okay. Everybody's laughing now. Okay. I think they're laughing at your laugh, though. But I'll say this, the little guy's the quietest he's been all morning so far. Yeah. Ironically, yeah. Her laugh is far better than the joke. Yes.
What was the big news?
We're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
No. Oh, that's the big. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the connection. I see that. Well played, sir. Well played. So I'll go into what I read, because again, it's not that much, so it'll be quick. I don't know if I talked about this last week. Even if I did, I didn't show it off. I've only read the Game of Thrones books, really. Now, Lady Phil, no. Nothing. So Game of Thrones, this is issue 10, and I didn't realize it was the same issue, and I didn't know that they had put out different covers. I had started picking up the Game of Thrones books from Midtown, actually, because number one, they were cheap as hell. And number two, I remembered that Dave Bratton had I'm eating my breakfast for Phil's show instead of Brian's show. Late breakfast. Technically, I guess it's brunch right now, so you're enjoying brunch. David, you're going to have to watch the ongoing series to figure that out. And I'll say that I'm not even going to give it any kind of teases on that, but we're moving along. We'll say that. So I don't know if I talked about this last week. So here's issue 10. Then this week I read issues 12. And I think I read this one already. Yeah, in issues 15. And I will say this. I did not read the original novels. I'm not a big reader, to be honest with you, other than comics. I don't have the patience to sit down and read a book like that thick. Usually, when I go on vacation, I'll bring a book or something like that. We haven't gone on vacation since the pandemic started, so my reading is behind, to be honest with you. Other than that, I used to read a lot of like Elmore Leonard novels. No problem, fanboy. How are you, sir? I'm sorry I missed Monday, by the way. I'll say this. I think the fact that I've watched the series has kind of ruined me on the comic, just because I feel like, okay, I know that this already happened, and they add little things that may have been in the novel. To be honest with you, I don't know. Like, I felt like the wildfire was introduced a little bit early on, but it's been a while since I've watched the series. To be honest with you, I'm not somebody who really watches a whole lot of reruns. Once I watch something, there are certain shows I'll go back and rewatch. Community, I just love going back and rewatching from time to time.
Sonic, isn't that comic?
No. I was talking about
I know.
reruns. I
Oh,
said,
okay.
and Sonic was a video game before a comic.
Oh, yeah.
We watched the Sonic sequel last night. The Hedgehog, not the sandwich shop, burger shop, rather. Matt Woods, everyone. I'm sorry, I just had a Pulp Fiction flashback when I just said, when I went to Amsterdam. I didn't read the rest of the sentence here. Yes, the coffee's taking control. I didn't read the rest of the sentence. It just went right to Pulp Fiction after that. Yeah, I love Community. I'm waiting. I know that they're doing the movie finally. Later. See you, doctor. How are you? Excuse me. See you, doctor. I said, how are you? What's another one? We watched Sopranos in anticipation of the terrible, horrible movie. Which my wife had never seen Sopranos before, so she didn't enjoy it, but it is what it is. No joke, that Community episode with the chicken fingers is hell. Girls, yeah, I understand completely. But yeah, I haven't yet to rewatch Game of Thrones, and I think I tried. Did we try to rewatch it? I tried to show you, and you were like, "I'm out. I'm not watching this." Yeah. But yeah, I think the series has kind of ruined me for the actual books. I do really like the artwork in here, but I feel like it doesn't match the tone of Game of Thrones. Like, to be honest with you, the art to me is kind of reminiscent of shit. What's his name? Sorry for cussing. Spider-Man. Oh, help me out here. Spider-Man artist, long time. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of that. It'll hit me after the show, and then I'll have to correct myself. Which, although it's good, again, I feel like it takes me out of it at times. And I'll be honest with you, like, I'll read the first half of the story. Bagley, thank you, Brian. Yeah. I'll read the first half of the story, then the second half I'll be like, I don't want to read this anymore. But yeah, I'm committed to reading it if I bought it. I think I have one more issue to read downstairs, but I'm not going to be buying any more of these. Hey, Matt Woods, how are you, sir? Matt Woods. David, I agree with you on Chevy Chase. After reading some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, I can understand why they were happy when he left. And I'll say this: I loved. I did love the other actors that they had on after him. I know, was it Michael? I can't remember names today. Was it the guy from The Wire? I know, and I've never watched The Wire, but I know he was from The Wire that passed away. Actually, from Newark, New Jersey, which is 20 minutes from here, and you don't want to go there. Trust me. And older actor as well. Again, I can't think of names, but he was very funny. That is literally all I read comic book wise. I tried to read a couple books online on my app, but little guy interrupted it. He didn't want to watch anything. He just wanted to. He didn't want to read anything. 'Cause I would like to sit down and read comics with him, especially when he was younger. But he was not having it. So, do you want me to show you what I bought now, or do you want the really big announcement? Let's see. Maybe I'll do like half and half. Yeah, I know, X11. It's like Beetlejuice. That was. Announcement. Okay, I'll give you the announcement. I kind of teased it enough. I was planning on doing a whole little video within a video to do it here in StreamYard, and I just didn't get around to it because it took longer at the LCS than I had anticipated. I will say this. This Thursday, Maybe we should wait until my wife is done with the sink. Do you guys hear like the water? Is it like interrupting? You know, I really want to do Actual Dracula. I mentioned this to Cole. I think that, you know how Cole has the running joke that every day is Journey's birthday? I feel like a bunch of us should get together and get like an edible arrangements basket and just send it to him out of the blue, just happy birthday. I don't know. That'd be funny to me. Hear it, but it sounds a nice tone to the video. Hopefully it doesn't make you have to pee. Yeah, okay, I'll just go into it. So, coming this Thursday, 9 p.m. 9 p.m., honey, remember? This Thursday, 9 p.m. is going to be the return of 7-Minute Stories with a very special guest who's here in the chat, Mr. Comics by the Bay. 7-Minute Stories, if you don't know, or maybe if you don't remember, and is it actual Journey's birthday tomorrow? I don't know. We'll find out. If you don't remember, is an opportunity where we talk to members of the community who tell us their collecting history in 7 minutes. 7 minutes or less, because for some people, you get it just in under the gun. Others, they're done in like 3 minutes. So we'll see what Bay is going to do. And yeah, we've had some past guests here. Mr. Durs, who said that was his first live appearance. That was actually the last one I did. I had stopped doing them, partially because of just the whole process. Yeah, here's the thing. I was going to actually, at one point I was like, we should make up t-shirts that say, I lasted 7 minutes with Phil. But I don't know. The other Phil is here. Phil's Treehouse, how are you? I hope you don't mind me saying other Phil. I'm just kind of being late about it. But yeah, so be here Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, we'll see if Comics by the Bay can tell us his history in 7 minutes or less. The whole show is longer than 7 minutes. That throws people off too. But it's just the 7 minutes that we go through. We go through the history. And we'll do lots of just BSing, you know, in the meantime. Matt Woods, yes, he was my first. Other Phil. I like everybody saying other Phil now. Last thing, the full 7 minutes is harder than you think. Yep, and I'll throw it in there because my wife can't hear me. That's what she said. I've talked to Cole. I want to put up a video premiere tomorrow, wishing CJ, but I have to set it as a premiere in 3 months. I don't understand that, but I'm going to remember to try to watch that tomorrow. So yes, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7-Minute Stories with Comics by the Bay. I'm really looking forward to that. I feel re-energized. So I will show you what I bought. And again, I bought a lot, so I'm not going to go through each thing individually just because I found in past shows that's very boring, at least to me. If I'm wrong, tell me. I filled up 2 of my Reggie Padfolios, by the way, which I find these very handy, not only to transport things, but also to help manage your reading order. And I'm very, what's the word? Like I'm not very like organized in general, clearly. But with this, anytime I'm buy new comics, I'm just kind of militant about this is the order I need to read them in. That's my little thing. So first off, just the Stormbreaker sketchbook. I like these things. And also, I get to show you that, hey, Beckerman, how are you? I get to show you that I think I've kind of did a good job of fighting off some FOMO this week. I only fell for 2 cover buys. One of them was a big one, though, only because I wasn't paying attention. But I'll show you. So we have, and again, I want you to remember, I'm far behind. Dude, if anybody wants to do that, I'd be on board with that completely. Let me know. Good idea, David. I appreciate that. Remember, I'm far behind. Last time I went to the shop was right before Thanksgiving. So I've got a lot to do. She-Hulk, number 9. I'm liking that series a lot. Hold on. I have to make sure I organize them as I put them back down. She-Hulk numero 10. I don't speak Spanish. I can't think of what 10 is, and the coffee is firmly taken a hold of me, clearly. This is the variant for She-Hulk 10. Again, this is one of the ones I was kind of tricked into because I was like, oh, this looks really nice. And then I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was a variant, even though it says variant on the top. Yeah, I'm in for it. Let's do it. Regardless of who started it. I started filming mine yesterday. Okay. Thanos Death Notes. In organizing, I had forgotten that I actually have a good number of Thanos' ongoing series, the Donny Cates series, and the ones before that as well. This is one I jumped on because, as you know, I'm a huge Mike Del Mundo fan, and if you don't know, now you do. Miles Morales Spider-Man, #1, the Mike Del Mundo cover. I love that. Love Del Mundo. And if, in case you missed it this week, I actually unboxed a comic I purchased before Christmas, but it just came to me. I had my little sister pick it up for me. That was a Mike Del Mundo cover of Darth Vader Star Wars. Matt Woods, have you seen that one? By the way, that video, because I know that, is it your boy's a big Darth Vader fan? I don't go deep with Star Wars. Mando is pretty much like the top of my Star Wars pile, I guess you could say, my Star Wars watching. And I think it's just because I'm not into the Force idea, but yeah, that cover was outrageous, and in my opinion, that is Darth Vader in one picture. 2 Phils and 2 mics. We need to do a show. 2 Phils and 2 mics. I love that idea. Let's go with it. You guys tell me when, and we'll go with it. Okay. Here is one I fell into. That this one is going right in the giveaway pile, which I'll talk about in a bit. Only because I didn't realize it at the time, but I have it. I have the regular cover. This is a Chrissy Zulo variant. I like Chrissy Zulo. I don't like this cover whatsoever. Wolverine 25. And this was a good story, actually, too. I talked about this recently. But again, the fact that it was a variant threw me off because I looked at the cover and it didn't snap. But again, I don't like this cover at all. So this will be going into the giveaway pile, unless there's somebody who's a big Chrissy Zulo fan. If you are, let me know. Message me on Instagram. I have no problem just sending it over to you. And then fast forwarding, because I read Wolverine 25 and 26, and I believe 27, but we have number 28. Wolverine in the Pit of Krakoa, which sounds very cool to me. Spoiler alert, you're going to see a lot of X-Men books coming up. I hope you don't mind that. Speaking of Journey, I know he's always like, why do you always have the X-Men books? But whatever. Wolverine 29, cool cover. I don't know for sure, but I think this is... I can't think of names today. Guy used to do Avengers. Okay, I can't look it up right now. Wolverine number 30. I think we're finally getting the Beast doing the heel turn. It's a cool cover. Look at the skull of Wolverine there. And I just saw this on the back. I didn't know this was happening. Lethal Protector 2. I'll read that online. Lethal Protector was my thing when I started collecting as a kid. Okay, this one. Here was a miss for me. Sabretooth and the Exiles, number 4. I read issue 1. For some reason, issues 2 and 3, don't know what happened. Didn't get to my box. So I have to get those elsewhere before I read this one, or else my little brain will just blow up. I don't know. The coffee's taken hold. Matt Woods. Okay. This next series, I think this is a limited run X-Men series. It's one of those throwback series, which I've been trying to stay away from recently, but this is a series I loved when I first got back into comics after taking a break. It's not really appreciated that much, the original run, but I needed to check this out. And I was happy to see that this one is getting some traction. This is Extreme X-Men number 1. And I'm very happy that they got the original team together. Didn't they just finish a Lethal Protector series that last year? I don't know. I haven't regularly read Venom regularly in a while. I'm just thinking back to the first original limited series with the red foil and everything that everybody was buying for way too much not too long ago. But yeah, Extreme X-Men, Chris Claremont, Salvatore Larocca, love that. Cough Cough Atomic Empire. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, and actually, I've been meaning to do. I'm waiting until one of my friends had surgery. I'm waiting until he's better. I have an idea of doing a series about a character who was in the Extreme X-Men, who is missing in action. Extreme X-Men #2. This was a cover by fail for me. I didn't realize again that this was the second thing. Here is the Peach Momoko for issue 2. And again, I'm trying to get away from cover buys. I do think I did a better job, certainly than I had in the past, of doing that. Dropped that Extreme X-Men after issue 2. I was going to say, I think the most recent is 3. I think it's only like a 4 or 5 issue series. #3. Okay, and to give you an idea, oh, here we go. And this is the next of the throwback series that they're doing. I don't know if they're calling it that. That's what I'm calling it. Bishop War College, which sounds very interesting to me. Bishop was one of the first appearances I ever collected. Been in the shower. Don't watch it in the shower. You ruin your phone. Listen to the X-Men books, miss seeing them. That's okay. You could always go back on the replay. Yeah, he was one of the first appearances I ever collected. So I'm excited to read that. And he's been one of those characters I feel like, you going to bed now, honey? Buddy? Yeah. Are you going to hang out for a bit? Oh, the little guy and my wife are hanging out with us. Comics by the Bay, I will see you Sunday, sir. Thursday, rather. My days are messed up. See you later. My shower curtain has pockets for the. They really do. I don't know how I feel about that. Hey, buddy. He's gonna stare at me from his pack and play across the room. So hear him occasionally giggle and me giggle back because yeah. Okay. X-Men. Oh, this is out of order. See. X-Men #18. That's Cinch on the cover. You like this one, pal? I don't like the cover that much on this one. I talked about recently my how I think that you got to put. I'd love to see both Cinch and Prodigy on the same team. That is in my X-Men vote video. I think we did that last week. Catch that if you haven't. Yeah, buddy. X-Men #19. X-Men Annual #1. Let's see if this cover is wife approved. This is Firestar. Do you guys think that my wife will appreciate this cover or not? Let's see the comments. I'm going to put this down for a minute. I'll let the comments come in. Hey, buddy. Okay, and I'm going to keep going in the meantime. X-Force 35. I swear he's okay. X-Force 36. I'm curious to see. Phil, I love the pun. I'm not going to lie. He's okay. That's his regular voice he's trying out. X-Force 37. Tube. I don't know. Tube. I got you now. Okay. All right. So I've had a couple people weigh in. Will my wife like this cover or not? I think she'll be okay with it. Let's see. Sonny, do you remember Firestar? Dude, you didn't watch the old Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon back in the day, right? Okay, she was on that. So what are your thoughts on this cover?
That's nice.
It's nice? Okay. Getting close to talking. Yes. Yeah, well, Firestar.
Yeah.
There you go. So I test because my wife feels very sensitive, not sensitive, I should say, but she has a certain opinion on certain covers. and that's kind of why I want to do that cover challenge live with her. But I think we're going to have to do that when recorded. Okay, this is a cover. These are cover buys that I really stepped into. Immortal X-Men #9. I've been getting all the Phil Noto covers, so I had to get this one. Again, I didn't realize that this was the same book. Here's the Peach Momoko cover. Yeah, she does not like magic. Some Steph Wilson covers might be appropriate. So bad. I can't think of Steph Wilson off the top of my head. Can you refresh me, please? Yeah, he is getting close to talking. He likes to say "dada," which is funny when my wife is trying to get him to say "mama" because he's like "dada, dada." Later, there's Immortal Mark Brooks cover. I love Mark Brooks. Yeah, same here. Same here, David. Think Sweater Girls. I got to think more than that. Maybe I need more coffee. Then I do have the Sins of Sinister to catch up on. This feels like a nice thick book. Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants. Been hearing very good thing about that. Well proportioned. Nightcrawlers. Yeah, like I could tell you, I think out of all the Magic covers she's seen, since her costume changed during Avengers vs. X-Men, she's not a fan. I think she's only liked one of them. Immoral X-Men, which I'm curious to see this one. Emma Frost, I can tell you, she's also not a fan of. Okay, bud. Lots of ads. I figure that. New Mutants 32. And New Mutants 33. Okay. I think that's the end of the X-Men books. As you can see, by the way, no DC books so far. And that's because I will be doing the digital service, I think, starting next week. Next week's the paycheck week. March, there's 3 pay periods, so I have a little bit of leeway. But these are my indie books. And yes, I included Image in that one, even though I don't consider Image to be indie, but what are you going to do? Okay, Monstrous numbers 42 and 43. I love, love, love this series. I know it is ending soon. Yeah, I'm just kind of savoring it. And it's at the point where I've recommended that to enough people, and I've told people, if you want to get into this book at this point, just wait until it's all collected, because it is a hefty read, but it's very good. The art is astonishing. 8 Billion Genies #7. Kind of feel like what Brian had said earlier. Hey, 25 Perez. Sorry I didn't see you there. I do feel like the story is losing a little bit of steam for me, but it's almost over at this point. And that's kind of, I think, part of the course for it's Charles Soule, right? Yeah. I feel like a lot of his stories do that. I do appreciate his stuff, but sometimes it just falls a little flat for me. Undiscovered Country, #22 and #23. I've been liking this series. It's one that ebbs and flows as well. It's like, this is boring, then it's great out of nowhere. And I think it's supposed to be ending soon as well, to be honest with you. Don't quote me on that one. I might be wrong. Nocterra. This is the Val special. Junkyard Joe #5. I'm missing #4 and 3. Yeah, numbers 3 and 4 rather. This, I'll come back to this in a bit, because I had a nice little victory with this one too. Spawn Unwanted Violence, #1 and #2. I have not read Spawn regularly in a very long time. I think since somewhere in issues 50. I've picked them up here and there, but I 100% wanted to read this because of Mike Del Mundo, and I'm here for it, and I'm excited to see that. Mike Del Mundo, it's funny, when I had done a Mike Del Mundo appreciation video not too long ago. I've linked to it a few times. It's still my favorite video, I think, that I've done. Do you remember that one, honey?
Mm-hmm.
And we had a little bit of a Instagram conversation going back and forth, and I said to him, I'd really like to see you on Batman. I feel like you get that creepy style down, even if they don't use Scarecrow. To be honest with you, just because he's very good at that kind of stuff. And he said, that's actually a goal book of mine, but I don't know if he'll ever do that. So hopefully we'll see that one day. This is one.
Also Campbell.
Well, yeah, that's the point. This is one. Now I'm drawing a blank. Indie Comics Review and Marcus actually turned me on to just the cover. This is my cover by, let's say, Art Brut issue 3. And I love the Andy Warhol callback. It's just a beautiful, beautiful cover. You know the Andy Warhol soup can cover, Sonny?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's a callback to. And I had recommended Art Ops to him. So I'm curious to see if he likes that. I'm curious to check that out because it feels like it's got a little bit of an Art Ops vibe. So that might be an indie that I check out. We'll see how I like that one.
There you go.
Hey, buddy. You want to show everybody how you do Batman? I'm trying to get him to do Batman. Matthew. Batman. Batman. No. He's smiling because he's like, I'm not going to say it. And the last one I picked up was Blue Book #1. I think everybody's gotten this one now. But sounds interesting. Let's see. Kind of scary, 25 issues, and I'm not quite sure if you're liking it all. Which one? Sad to see Greg Capullo go to Marvel. Is it an exclusive, though? I'm not quite sure. I like his artwork. I feel like it could get a little redundant at times. But he's funny, too. Just remembered on top to tap that like. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, Undiscovered? Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I feel like every chapter starts kind of like on the surface, and I think this is by design. With each area that they go into, they keep getting deeper and deeper, and it hits you on a different level. I really like that. First, I'd heard that. Yeah. Other things too. Well, I mean, we're almost done, but you said you were liking it, but not quite sure. Yeah, it's one that on the surface level, like after the end of each arc, I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop reading it. But they keep pulling me in a little bit more. And like I said, I do think it's almost over. So I don't know. I'm just going to stick with it through the end at this point. It's already so far. And it is, I think part of the issue is because it is a dense read. It's one of those things you really have to pay attention to when you're reading it. Undiscovered Country, I'm saying again. So I don't know. I'm in for it with it at least now. I haven't read anything in it that's absolutely terrible. Why don't we say that? Where I'm like, I have to get rid of this. Like the current volume of Marauders, for example. The other comic book news, I'm just kind of curious to see what everybody's feelings is on this. Brian Hitch and drawing a blank again. Oh, and Hickman coming on to Ultimates, or reviving the Ultimate line. David, thanks for coming, sir. Thank you, sir. Going to see Ant-Man with the wife. Enjoying. I'm waiting for Disney Plus. Yeah, so what are your feelings about the Ultimate Universe returning, even if it is just for a limited series? My personal take, I read all of the Ultimate line at one point or another. The only one I have to say that really endured past the first couple arcs for me was Ultimate Spider-Man. And I felt that was because it was the one book that was taking risks. I felt like every other series after a certain point was just rehashing one of the old stories or just going too bonkers. Evil. Not excited due to I've never read the original Ultimates. The original Ultimates was great back in the day. I feel like once they hit, I think was it Ultimates 3 when Cataclysm started? Was it Cataclysm or I forgot what it was. The big, hey, Steve, we're winding down a bit, but you can always watch the replay if you want to catch up. Yeah, whatever their big event was, where although I appreciate that it took some risks in that, it just was poorly done. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of the art in that one. Ultimately, Spidey first, number one last month, along with Powers and Alias. Bendis was a superstar back in the day. Agreed. Alias is a fun read. Powers I liked, but I felt like they kept resetting it for me. And it wasn't that they were necessarily resetting the story. It was just, okay, we're taking the story here now. It was too much. But those first couple arcs of Powers especially are great. Who Killed Retro Girl was one of those books I would recommend to people who were not comic readers, who were like, I want to check something out. And Ultimate Spidey, I think he was great on. I think when he finally killed Peter to bring in Miles, I think it was a great decision because, again, he was taking that left-hand turn of what we all expected in the book. And look, he definitely had some misses during that series. I don't think anybody, I'll say this, nobody I've met, I've never met anybody who's been crazy about Ultimate Venom or Ultimate Carnage or the Ultimate Deadpool. But there you go. Alias came from the Ultimate Universe? No, it was Alias was Jessica Jones's kind of standalone series. Right after Bendis got kind of hot with Marvel, after Daredevil really took out. Yeah, buddy, right? Hot. Ha. Yeah, and the Ultimate Universe on a whole, the other ones, again, I felt like they either got boring or took too much of a turn. Ultimates, I know in particular, I dropped off of like when they started making. I remember Blade was on the team. I think they were calling it Ultimate Avengers by that point as well. I looked at my wife like she would know. To be honest with you, with the Ultimate Comics, honey. Yeah. So I'm gonna read it digitally. I'm not gonna buy it from the West End, and I've been clearing up my basement comic room. So I missed the start. No problem. You could always watch the replay if you want. If not, that's cool too. And look, spend time with your son. I could definitely relate to cleaning up the comic room, as I think everybody here knows. I've had that ongoing series that we've been putting out one video a week on it. I might expand that to two. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, I'm just going to read the Hickman series, I think, digitally. Again, it's just there's too much to read. I'd rather, if anything, read it all in one go, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. But yeah, I'm just about wrapped up for the week. 53 minutes in almost. I think we're good. We're good. Yes, Steve White, 1,000%. Organization is time consuming, and I've learned that it is something that we should be doing ongoing. So that's what I'm aspiring to do. But with that, I want to thank everybody for giving me a little bit of time on your Saturday to spend with me and my babbling and my caffeinated ways. Matt Woods again, everybody. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend, and I hope you have a great week too. Thanks again. Peace, love, and comics. Take care.